Hi everyone, today we are going to crochet this neck and ear warmer in one. Maybe some of you came here because of my short where I show a slightly different ear and neck warmer, so you can also follow this tutorial because there are only 2 rows different and I will exactly show you when and how to make them. This tutorial is made for complete beginners, so you can expect that I will show you how to make the stitches in the beginning of the row or section. We will start with the neck section, then ribbing of the ear warmer, and then we will make the ear warmer where you can choose either you want to do it like this or with star stitch. Now let's get to what we will need for this project. I am using Mega Ball Aran here, which is recommended with 5.5 to 6 mm hook, which is size 9 or 10, but for the ribbing I will go one size down, so I will use 5 mm hook, that is hook number 8, and for the rest of the ear warmer I will use hook size 6 mm, which is hook number 10. And if you'd like to have 2 colored ear warmer, you will need other color of the same yarn also. Then we will need a pair of scissors and a yarn needle. So let's start with the smaller hook now. For me it's 5 mm. We start with a slip knot. We hold the tail end in the right hand, wrap the yarn around 2 fingers of the left hand, hold it here with your thumb, and then insert the hook from the other side and pull up a loop. And now we just pull both ends. We are going to start with the foundation chain. We start the project back here, and this is the length we want our foundation chain to be. In this part it's neck warmer and ribbing of the ear warmer together. I am making it 6 inches or around 15 centimeters long. If you are using the same yarn that I use with the same hook sizes, you will need 25 chains. Now there is a loop on our hook that we don't count as a chain. To chain we need to yarn over and pull through the loop on your hook. This is chain 1. Yarn over again and pull through loop on your hook. This is chain 2. Yarn over, pull through, chain 3. Yarn over, pull through, chain 4. Continue making chains until you have 25 chains in total or the length that you wish. Before we start with the first row, we need to chain one more to bring the yarn to the height of the single crochet stitch. And now we will single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So we skip the first chain that we made extra and insert the hook into the second chain. Now we are going to yarn over and pull up a loop. We have 2 loops on the hook. We will yarn over again and pull through both of them. This is the first single crochet. Now we will make another one. Insert the hook into the next chain. Yarn over and pull up a loop. You have 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over again and pull through both of them. Then move to the next chain, insert the hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over again and pull through both loops on the hook. So this is single crochet stitch. We will just continue placing 1 single crochet into each chain, and I will see you then at the end of the row. I am at the end of the row. This is my 25th single crochet. This is our first row finished, and now at the end of the row we are going to chain 1 to bring again the yarn into the height of the stitch, and then we will turn the work right to left, just like a page in a book. And now for the second row we are going to be placing the single crochets under back loops only. So if you look at the stitches from the top here, you can see the horizontal V's, and each V is made of front and back loop. So here is front loop, back loop, front loop, back loop, front loop, back loop. And to place the single crochet under back loop only, you have to go into the middle of that V and slide the hook under back loop only. So here, here. So let's start the second row. We will skip that chain that we made at the end of the previous row. This one we skip and we go under back loop only of the next stitch. So slide the hook under back loop, yarn over and pull up a loop. You have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over again and pull through both of them. So it's single crochet, only instead of into the stitch we go under back loop only. So let me show you for the last time. Slide the hook under back loop of the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over again and pull through both loops on the hook. Continue placing single crochets under back loop of each stitch till the end of the row. For me it's 25 stitches in total. And here I am placing the last stitch at the end of the row. This is our second row finished. And now at the end of the row we need to chain 1 and turn the work. And then again, we will skip the 1 chain we just made and place single crochet under back loop of the next stitch. Then place single crochet under back loop of each stitch, then chain 1, turn the work, skip that chain, single crochet under back loop of all stitches, chain 1, and so on until your ribbing is about 5 inches long, which is around 13 centimeters. For me, this is 22 rows. If we look at our project like this, the beginning of the project is in left bottom corner. We want to finish our last row in the top right corner. So I'm going to place a few more single crochets here just to finish this row. And now I will just chain one and turn the work, and I will show you what we are going to do next. So this is the part that we have done, and now we are going to continue with this part. This is for the neck. It means I am not going to single crochet till the end of the row, but only for about 4 inches, which is 15 stitches for me. So again, I will skip that first chain and I will continue with single crochets on the back loops only. But not all the way to the end of the row, but only in 15 stitches. That is about 4 inches, which is 10 centimeters. And when I made my 15 single crochets, I will simply chain one, turn the work, and make next row with 15 single crochets under back loop only. We will continue with the ribbing the same way, so that's always 15 single crochets, chain one, turn the work, skip that chain, place again 15 single crochets, chain one, and so on, until the whole piece, so including that first part, is about 11 inches long, which is 28 centimeters. As you can see, this is pretty stretchy, but you can also try to put it around your neck to make sure that it's perfect size for you. Now this time we are going to lay our project like this, that the beginning of our project is in the left top corner, and we want to finish our last row on this edge. That means that I have to make one more row here to finish in the bottom right corner. And this is because after we slip stitch this together, we can then continue with the ribbing for our ear warmer. So I'm just going to make here one more row of single crochets under back loop only. And now at the end of the row, I will chain one. Now I will turn it and fold it like this. Okay, and now we are going to slip stitch these two together. And then we are going to continue with the ribbing for the ear warmer here. But first, let's slip stitch. To do that, we need to insert the hook into the first stitch under both loops, and then under the first chain on this other end of the ribbing. Then we yarn over and pull up a loop. Now we have 2 loops on the hook, and we need to pull the first loop through the second loop, like so. This is our first slip stitch. Now we go into the next stitch, so under both loops, and under the second chain. Yarn over and pull up a loop, and pull first loop through the other loop. Go into the third stitch under both loops, and then under the third chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, and pull first loop through the other loop. I'm not sure if you can see good where you have to insert your hook on the other part, so here are small holes, small spaces under each chain on that other part, because that we started with the foundation chain, so that's where we are slip stitching now. So now let's continue. I'm going to place 15 slip stitches in total, because that's the amount of my stitches on the shorter side of the ribbing. And when I'm finished, I will just continue with single crochets under each of our chains from our foundation chain. So there will be 10 single crochets. And when I am at the end of the row, so I have my 10 single crochets, I chain one and turn the work. And now I will again skip that chain and place single crochet under back loop only of the next stitch. So this time we will make ribbing with 10 single crochets. Every time at the end of the row we will chain one and turn the work. I make my ribbing about 15.5 to 16 inches long, which is about 40 centimeters in total, so including the first part, but I would again recommend you to try it around your head to find out if it fits you. When the ribbing is finished, we need to slip stitch it here, just like we did with the neck warmer, and we want to start down here and slip stitch all the way up, and then we will continue with the ear warmer up here. So that means that when we fold it, we want the last row to be finished down here. So what I'm gonna do is make one more row of single crochets here, and then I can slip stitch. And after placing the last single crochet here, I'm going to chain 1 and then I fold it just like this, then turn it. In this case it will be maybe a bit harder in the beginning to slip stitch because it's on the other side, but again we have to find our first stitch here. So here is the last one from the neck warmer and this is the first one, so we need to insert the hook into that stitch under both loops and then into the first stitch of our ear warmer ribbing. So under both loops, yarn over, pull up a loop and then pull first loop through the other loop. Now slip stitch all the way to the end. For me it's 10 slip stitches. And now after last slip stitch we chain 1 and we can fasten off. So we have to cut off the yarn and then pull the loop with your hook just like so and turn the whole project inside out. If you did it the same way as I did, you should have now 2 ends up here, but we will work them in as we will crochet the rest of the ear warmer. What I'm gonna do now is look for the middle of this ribbing for the ear warmer. So when you look at your project like this, you have to make sure that on both sides you have the same amount of ribs. You can measure it, you can count it, it's up to you. For me, this is the easiest way. So I can see here that I have 2 ribs on the bottom on each side, then 1 is from the side here, and then I will count to the middle from each side. And here between these 2 is the middle of the ribbing for my ear warmer, so this is where I'm going to add the yarn. If you make different amount of rows, maybe you will find the middle on the top of the rib, not in between, okay? That's completely fine. Then you take the bigger hook, for me it's 6 millimeters, which is hook number 10, and then I will simply put the hook in there, control one more time if it's in the middle, and join the yarn. Make a knot in here, then hold the tail end up there on the left because we are going to work it in immediately, then insert the hook into the same space, yarn over and pull up a loop, and chain 1. Now this first row here will be made of single crochets all the way around, so I'm going to show you where to place them. When you look at your ribbing, you can see these front ribs and then you have between them, let's call it back rib, okay? So these are front and here you have the between the back ribs. So always one single crochet will go into the top of the front rib and then one in between. One in the front, one between. One front, one between. I actually joined the yarn into the top of the front rib after all, so now I'm going to go into the next stitch, which is between. So I will insert the hook in there and I will go around that tail end because I want to work it in and place a single crochet there. Then I will go into the top of the front rib and again around the tail end to work it in. Between and front. Between and front. Between, front. Okay, now if you accidentally, for example, skip one or place 2 single crochets, it's not that much of a problem. Just continue placing single crochets. I will continue now with you, but then we will also on the way take the other end and there will be also third end from the finishing our ribbing. So now when we made enough of these single crochets, we can cut this end off. So we'll pull it a bit, cut it off, and then it will stay hidden under there. Now continue placing the single crochets. I will speed it up a bit in here and then we come to the next tail end. I will place one more single crochet here and the next single crochet will be around the tail end. And again, when you will have enough single crochets there, you can cut it off. Then you continue, you will come to the third tail end and you will work it in just the same way. And then I will see you at the end of the row. I'm placing the last single crochet here and now I'm going to slip stitch into the first single crochet. So skip the chain you made and go under both loops of the first single crochet. Yarn over and pull up a loop and then pull the first loop through the second loop. This is finished first row. Now we are going to start the second row, which will be half double crochets. So we chain 2 in the beginning of the row to bring the yarn to the height of the stitch. Now we yarn over and we go in, not into the same but into the next stitch. So we go under both loops, we yarn over and pull up a loop. We have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over again and pull through all 3 of them. This is half double crochet. Yarn over, insert the hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over again and pull through all 3 of them. Yarn over, insert the hook into the next stitch under both loops, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all of them. Yarn over, insert the hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all of them. This is the half double crochet stitch and we are going to half double crochet all the way around. And while we are at it, since you got this far in my tutorial, please don't forget to hit the like button. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps this growing channel a lot. And if you'd like to see more of my videos, especially my 2-strand crochet stitches, subscribe to my channel. You can check out the videos there. There are already some tutorials with the 2-strand technique, but I'm still working on that. There is just kind of warning, this channel and crochet is my hobby, so I'm not posting on schedule. Sometimes it happens that I don't post anything for a few weeks and then in 1 week I post twice or more times. So now that you know what you can expect from my channel, we are going back to work. I am placing the half double crochets all the way around and I will see you at the end of this row. And here I am placing my last half double crochet, and now we are going to slip stitch into the first half double crochet here. And this is where you can decide if you'd like to add different color or continue with this one. If you want to add second color here, simply chain 1 and cut off the yarn and then add new yarn into the same stitch. You don't need to worry about what it looks like, in the end we will cover it all. Now if you want to make these rows, they are all 3 half double crochet. First is into the stitch, just like previous row, and the second and the third rows are half double crochets into the third loop. And I'm gonna show you really fast how to do it. If you want to continue with the star stitch, skip 1 minute ahead. So as I said, the first row with new color would be half double crochet into the stitch, just like previous row. And when you finish that one, you will make 2 rows of half double crochet into the third loop. I chain 2 to bring the yarn to the height of the half double crochet, and now I will look for the third loops. If you look at the stitches from the top, you see the horizontal V's right here. And if you look behind these V's, you can see the third loops right there. So these third loops are right under the back loop. So this is where we are going to place our half double crochets. So we will yarn over, and I will not go into the same stitch, I will go to the next stitch. I will slightly turn my work and find the third loop, slide the hook under the third loop, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over again and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. Now let's make a couple more together. So yarn over, slide the hook under next third loop and place a half double crochet there. Yarn over, slide the hook under next third loop and place a half double crochet there. So this is the first row of V's, and then I will make another one to have 2 rows of these V's, so that would be another row of half double crochet into the third loop. When you will be finished with these 3 rows, so first half double crochet into the stitch and 2 rows of half double crochet under the third loop, you can chain 1, cut the yarn, fasten off and join new color yarn. Then half double crochet into the stitch all the way around and join me back here on this time in the video, and we will continue together. And you all who decided to go for a star stitch with me, let's chain 3. Now star stitch is made of 2 rows, and now we are going to make the first one. Each star has 6 legs. Now this loop on the hook is the first leg of our first star. Now we will go into the second chain from the hook, so we'll skip that first chain, insert the hook into the second chain, yarn over and pull up a loop. This is the second leg of the star. Now we go into the next chain, to the third one, yarn over and pull up a loop. We have 3 loops on the hook. And now we will need to go under back loop of the same stitch from which we chained 3. So this is the stitch, but we don't go under both loops. We will slide the hook under back loop only, yarn over and pull up a loop. We have 4 loops on the hook. Now we will move on to the next stitch, go under back loop only, yarn over, pull up a loop, and the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. We have 6 loops on the hook. Now we will yarn over and pull through all 6 of them. Now remember that the first stitch is the hardest one. From now on it will only get easier. Now to close this star, we need to yarn over and pull through the loop on your hook. This is our first star. Now we are going to start a second star, and this loop is already the first leg of our new star. Now we go back into the center of the first star right here, yarn over and pull up a loop. We have 2 loops. Now we will go into the last leg of the first star, which is right here, and we will go in it like this. We will again yarn over and pull up a loop. We have 3 loops. Now we will go into the base of that stitch, which is here, yarn over and pull up a loop. We have 4 loops, and now we go into the next stitch under back loop only, and in the next stitch under back loop only, and we have 6 loops on our hook. We yarn over and pull through all 6 of them. Now we will again yarn over and pull through the loop on your hook to close the star. And again, this is the first leg of our new star. Then we go right into the center, yarn over and pull up a loop. Then we go into the last leg of our previous star, yarn over and pull up a loop. We have 3 loops. Then we go into the base of that stitch, so we yarn over and pull up a loop. And then we go in next 2 stitches under back loop only, yarn over and pull up a loop. We have 6 loops, yarn over and pull through all 6. And then yarn over and pull through the loop on your hook to close the star. This was our third star. Now let's do it one more time together. Insert the hook into the center of the previous star, yarn over and pull up a loop. Then insert the hook into the last leg of the previous star, yarn over and pull up a loop. Then go into the base of that stitch with that last leg, yarn over and pull up a loop. Then go under back loop only of the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. And then go under back loop of the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. You have 6 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 6 of them. This is our fourth star, and now we have to again yarn over and pull through the loop on the hook to close the star. Now maybe you can pause the video here and continue repeating these steps, and then I will see you at the end of the row and show you how to finish it and start the next one. So I'm now at the end of the row and placing my last 2 stars. Here I'm placing the last star, and here I would like to show you something. So as you can see, I have 3 stitches over. Depending on how many rows you had on your ribbing, you may have 2 or 3 stitches over, or if you went in the previous row to the next stitch or to the same stitch. It doesn't matter at all, you just finish your last stitch with the next 2, and if you have to skip 1 stitch, it is not problem at all. Now you close the star and you will slip stitch into the first chain there. And now you can see I have here a hole, but as I said, that doesn't matter, we will cover it all. And now we are going to make the second row of the star stitch. That starts with chain 2, and now we will be placing 2 half double crochets into each center of the star. So I will yarn over and go into the first center of the star, yarn over and pull up a loop. I have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over again and pull through all 3 of them. And then I will yarn over and go into the same center and place another half double crochet in there. And now I will move into the next center and place 2 half double crochets in there. Then I will go to the next star and place 2 half double crochets in there. So now continue placing 2 half double crochets into the center of each star, and I will see you at the end of the row. And now I am at the end of the row, placing my last 2 half double crochets into the last center, and I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the first half double crochet of this row. And this is where people who decided to make 3 rows of half double crochet join us again, so welcome back, and let's continue with the next row, which will be half double crochet under back loop only. In this row we are also going to decrease a few times, so let's start with chain 2 and half double crochet under back loop only of the next stitch. That will create a row like this, which we also can see under the star, so we will also have it now here. So let's yarn over and slide the hook under back loop only of the next stitch. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over again and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. In this row I'm going to decrease 4 times. I do not count the stitches exactly, I do more or less, but I rather look at my earwarmer and choose 4 places where I will decrease. So in this case I would do it somewhere here, here, here and here. So let me just get there really fast and I will show you how we decrease. For those who rather count their stitches, I made somewhere around 15. And now I'm gonna yarn over and go under the back loop of the next stitch, then I yarn over and pull up a loop, and then yarn over, and instead of finishing the stitch I will go under back loop of the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. I have 5 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 5 of them. So this was our first decrease. Now we are going to continue placing our half double crochets, and that will be on the right edge of the back panel. So I will yarn over and go under the back loop of the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, then yarn over again, go under the back loop of the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. I have 5 loops on the hook, and then I will yarn over and pull through all 5 of them. Now we will continue placing half double crochets, and we will come to the left edge of our back panel. And here we will yarn over, go under the back loop of the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over again, go under the back loop of the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through all 5 loops on the hook. And continue placing half double crochets and decrease one more time on the front side of the earwarmer, and I will see you at the end of the row. I am placing my last half double crochet, and now I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the first half double crochet. And our final row will be single crochet all the way around, also with decrease. So we will chain 1 to bring the yarn to the height of the stitch. And now you can decide if you would rather place your single crochets into the stitch, so under both loops, or under third loop, so that you would again create that effect of the V's in the front. I chose to go into the stitch, so I am placing my single crochets under both loops, and we are also going to decrease here again. I will maybe decrease 4 or 5 times, let's say every 10 stitches we can decrease, and I'm going to show you how. Here I'm going to single crochet 2 together under front loop only, but if you went for third loop, then you will do the same thing under third loop. We will slide the hook under front loop only of the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, then slide the hook under front loop of the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 of them. Then continue with 10 single crochets, and then we will decrease again. So we will go under the front loop of the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, then slide the hook under front loop of the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 of them. And then just continue with single crochets again. Then decrease again and repeat till the end of the row, and I will see you there. I am at the end of the row, placing my last single crochet, and then I slip stitch into the top of the first single crochet. And then I will chain 1. And now I'm going to leave here a longer piece of the yarn to work with, and then I can cut it off and fasten off. Around 30 inches of yarn should be enough, that's about 76 centimeters. And now we are going to hide all this mess here where we join new yarn and slip stitch, leaving holes in here. So thread the yarn needle, and we are going to finish our ear warmer. We'll hold our project like this, and we'll go with the needle above one row and under the next. Up, down, and we will end up in the hole where we join the yarn to the ribbing and then pull it through. You can pull it here, and now we bring the yarn up here and insert the needle into the same hole back to front. Then pull it through and repeat. You can repeat as many times as you wish. Maybe you would like to attach a button there, then you don't need to repeat that many times, because then it would be too thick. But if you're not planning on attaching there anything, then just keep wrapping. And then once you are finished with wrapping, we are going to hide the end in the back here. You go right to left, left to right a couple times. I go also into the stitch of ear warmer on each side just to make sure it will stay in place. And then I go back again to the other side, and then make a knot and hide the end, and then you can cut off the rest yarn. So here are 2 versions of my neck and ear warmer. You can change it every time you make new one, using different stitches, back loops, third loops, under both loops, changing colors. I mean, the possibilities are endless. And as I mentioned before, maybe you would like to attach a button there, so I'm going to show you very quickly how to do that. So just place the button here, thread the needle, and then you would go back to front, it doesn't matter in which hole, and then you would go to the hole across from that hole, front to back, and then back to front through one of the remaining holes, and then again across it front to back, and then in the back here you would just make a knot. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If so, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!